Hopefully that gave you some perspective on what it's going to be like in a world with no passwords, no wires, and the next generation of user interfaces. But let's start and deep dive into that, how we're going to bring this across hundreds of millions of devices. At the end of the day, users want to interact with their devices in more natural ways, and one of those is to give computers sight with Intel's RealSense technology. RealSense enables new imaging capability, new intelligence, and the ability for our devices to interact in new ways, all enabled by this very simple small camera module. We're going to deliver user-facing cameras for all-in-ones and notebooks, delivering gesture control, secure facial login, and activities like that. We're also going to deliver world-facing cameras in the worlds of 2-in-1 detachables, tablets, and even phablets in the future, delivering things like 3D capture and share, augmented reality, and a number of new usage models. Now, this is a great example of something that started in the PC, but is ultimately making its way down into smaller and smaller devices. So what I have here is the Dell Venue 8 tablet, the world's thinnest Android tablet, but we have integrated a RealSense 3D camera into the back of this, and it's enabling an entirely new way to deliver photography as well. But this is Computex, and we're here to look at the future. So these are two new phablet reference designs from Intel, where we've actually enabled this technology now into a 6-inch phablet as well. So that's where the technology is going. And not only that, but we've talked about the 50 billion connected devices to the internet. So if you look at these pictures here on the bottom, you'll see SlamTech, which is a new digital retail assistant that we showed at CES Asia in Shanghai just about a week ago, where this retail assistant is actually a robot, can come up to you in the store, guide you directly down the aisle using its own set of eyes, and talking to you through an interactive display. Of course, drones are flying robots, and so what we're doing now is we're trying to give access to medical care and emergency defibrillators to the billions of people that don't have all-season roads around the world. We think drone technology can help us do this. This is an example of a module that we can actually fit on a drone. And you can see it actually has 6 RealSense cameras on here. So you can literally just point the drone from point A to point B, and it can guide itself with its own eyes in 3D around all the obstacles, saving precious minutes and bringing emergency medical care to people around the world. About 1 billion people lacking access to roads in order to do that. Now, this is all enabled by an incredible amount of software, and every year for the last couple of years, Intel has spent tens and tens of millions of dollars enabling RealSense software. We now are going to be delivering more than 60 applications, 15 of those or more delivered here in Asia. So what I thought I'd do is just show you a couple of those applications with Craig here on what we've got going for both user-facing and world-facing.
Sure. Well, here I have a Core 2-in-1 tablet, and actually in tablet mode, and it has a great integrated world-facing RealSense camera that I have here. So I can do a couple of things with that, but I figured we'll just do a quick capture and share. If you want to go ahead and look as stately as possible, and I'm going to go ahead and capture Kirk's face here, and all of the individual points I'm able to go ahead and bring together and tie him into one great 3D model. And I'm going to go ahead and stop that. And this is really just a quick scan. I can go ahead and, if we wanted to build in all that detail, it'll take a few seconds longer, but we've already done that beforehand. So with a perfectly scanned scan of Kirk, what can we do with that? Well, we can go ahead and do some 3D printing and make some, action figures of his likeness, like you can do in some stores and that kind of thing. But what we thought was really cool to do was actually gamify his experience. So here we have virtual Kirk. He's inside the game. There we go. All right, next to some great branding, as you can see there. And I know you don't breakdance, in normal reality here, but in the virtual world, we can pretty much do anything that we want. Oh yeah.
Just like awesome. Being able to transform yourself with a simple 3D scan. And I believe President Obama in the US was the first person to be 3D scanned by the Smithsonian. Now you can all be 3D scanned just by buying a RealSense enabled 2-in-1. So here we have an application called Phase Shift. And sometimes when we'd like to be in a virtual world if you're chatting or something online. Yeah. What I can do here with this new ASUS system is if I just come closer here, it'll prepare an avatar for me. It takes just a little bit to get it going here. But once I'm here, now I can actually interact with this in chat sessions. We plan to take this to all the local sites in the world. That could be a robot, that could be
That's more your style. I'm thinking that is pretty much your style.
So you can see it's the humor that's coming and the excitement we put on the people's face in retail, and why we have confidence that PC refresh is alive and well. You can see these apps and many more at the new Intel store here in Taipei in Sintrend Creative Park. We've got that all online for you there. Okay, let's transition to no passwords. You know, this is one of those huge annoyances that hopefully you all agree we have. Here, we just did a recent survey in Asia where many of you we found have to enter more than 8 passwords a day. Some of you are entering more than 20 passwords a day. On average, you have more than 5 different passwords, and 30% of you are using the password, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And many of you don't use passwords at all, despite the risks of viruses. So today I want to look at 2 technologies that we're delivering to make you the password, where your facial biometrics and multi-factor authentication become the only thing you need, and hopefully you don't forget yourself when you're going around every day. So Windows Hello is a new feature that enables you to log in with multi-factor authentication into Windows 10. TrueKey is a solution that's available from Intel, our McAfee acquisition, that enables you, once you're logged into Windows 10, to get access to all of your other websites in an incredibly secure way. So, Craig, why don't we show them what we've got here?
Yeah, so here what I have is our 6th generation core, SDS, or software development vehicle we call it. And it's a great core power 2-in-1. And then while I'm here in tablet mode, I'm just going to use this beautiful thing right here to go ahead instead of all the other passwords I have jumbling around in my brain. So it happens really fast with Windows Hello, as well as the integrated RealSense camera that we have to get all that depth information to make it really secure. So check this out. Oh my gosh, just that fast.
That's it?
I mean, that's it. It's secure, fast, quick. Oh yeah, hold on. Let me go ahead and I'll tell you what, I know you like to prove it, so.
Well, I think we all know here in Taiwan that all Americans look alike, right? So here we go. I'm going to try to play Craig here, and obviously, since we all look alike, we should be able to log in. No,
that's a problem. I'll tell you what, let me help you out.
Okay, well, we should be able to spoof these things, right? No?
No? You got nothing? Right. Why don't we go ahead and just prove this one more time. Like all magic tricks, you got to make sure there's nothing behind your sleeve. Oh my gosh, just in again one more time like that, guys. That is absolutely amazing. And not only do we have this for device level authentication with Windows Hello, but also with Intel Security TrueKey, I'm able to go ahead and take that same experience out all across the internet. So all of my banking sites, all of my social media, I can go ahead and just log in the same way using this great mug right here to go ahead and be completely secure and simple, easy to get to my favorite places.
So again, the combination of Windows 10, 6th generation core that you saw there, and the new RealSense technology, we can do this in an incredibly secure way. And both Microsoft and Intel are committed to do this in a standards-based way. Today I'm announcing that Intel is joining the Fast Identity Online Alliance, or FIDO. Together, Microsoft and Intel are committed to do this in a standards-based way for authentication not only into Windows 10, but into all your favorite websites with Intel TrueKey.